Good morning and sliding into afternoon. So today we are doing a kit. Or at least we're going to start it and get some ideas and so forth and all, right? Because this Sunday we'll be doing the August kit, and it's at 4 o'clock and we'll be doing it live. So join Zoe and I live on Sunday, and that's also going to give away door prizes. So how do you get a door prize? Well, you just leave a comment, emoji, or whatever on our videos or anything else we have out there. And we just go back until the last time we did the drawing, right? Which would have been in the last Sunday of last month to today. So actually we have three to give away. So all we do is we just take everybody's name, put it on the wheel of names, and pick a name that way, right? Not rocket science, just makes it a lot easier for us. All right, so today is the harvest kit. And it takes more than what we're going to do today. All right, so we're just going to show you what's in it, and we're going to do a few things just to show you to start building it. And it's going to build as we go along. So we're still going to do our lives on Friday, and I'll show you how the progress we make, any kind of changes we make, but it is fun to do, and I want to show you what some things we can do with it, all right? So with that, let's go down the hands and let's do this. All right, so we have acorns in this. Actually, I like the fact that these acorns actually come in this kit like this, right? So those make that very nice to sit there and make any kind of anything you want to do, right? Especially when you're talking about 3D, and that's what we're talking about. And then they also in here have this, you'll have to stretch it out, right, to make it, but it's got to end. And with this kit, you have to use hot glue, all right? So I just want to give that heads up. We're not going to use hot glue today. We're working on prepping our stuff. You'll have to stretch this out, and I'll get mine stretched out so I can show it to you. I'll take a picture of it so you can see that it gets stretched out so we can get ready to make that garland, right? So these are things that are in the kit. There's plenty of leaves, all right? So that's what I want to work with today is the leaves. Let me show you what's in the kit, and this is moving around on me, so let me just anchor this down a little bit better. I thought I had anchored down. All right, because we're going to use some daubers. So if you have some daubers, if you don't, they're easy to use. All right, so let me show you. This is how they have it made, all right? And I'm going to show you the stuff. So we're going to show this right here because they have you taking everything apart and fold it in half. And we're going to do that. I'm going to show you some other things, too, that we're going to do. So that's like step one that they have you do. And then when you come in here, you can see where they start. This is second one here, they start having you to hot glue the different items on here. So yes, you have to have a hot glue gun. And then you see how it's going to look when you get through getting it stretched out and everything and all. So they have you doing all the leaves on first. And then in step 3, they actually have you putting in the acorns here, right? So there you go. All right, so let's start with these leaves. The leaves are all very different. You know, that's what I want to show you. So some of these leaves almost have, like here's one right here. These have a cloth-like feeling to them, all right? So it's got multiple different leaves in here. So I'm just going to punch some of these out if I can easily. I think I got 2 sheets here. I got 2 sheets. All right. So you have more than one sheet, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and poke one of these out. Sort of a little one of everything, right? So we've got, I don't know if you can see this, but we've got all kinds of different leaves here. And we even talked about us making cards out of some of these. And I'm thinking about that, right? I'm thinking, because I can, right? Everything's just left up to our own imagination. We have some things that we do because we have instructions that say, hey, do this. So for me, I'm trying to make sure I get one of every different leaves. So that's one thing I do is just punch out what you want at least for one example, right, of everything. And I think I got everything there. Looks like it. All right, and there's plenty more here. Nope, except I didn't get this maple looking leaf here. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's just this one right here, okay? And we have at least 2 of these right here. All right, so I'm going to set that aside because we have more before we get to doing this here. So I want to get at least one of everything, right? Now I won't be able to do everything, but you've got several metallic. See, we got 1, 2, 3 sheets of metallic. Ooh, 4 of the same thing right here. All right, so just like I did then, I'm just going to punch out one of each. And you'll see how these just look and line up with some of the stuff we already got punched out from just then when we did this other one. my maple leaf. I know I'm trying to make sure I get all my leaves, right? A smooth leaf here, and I need one maple leaf. Alright, let's just start with this one color offhand, okay? And all they have us doing is they have us folding everything in half, right? So you're just going to come on the right there in the middle, the vein there, leaf. I'm not going to do mine all the way to the tip. I'm just going to do it here because when we go to hot glue it, right? So if you're looking at the instructions and you're wondering, it's got the two-tone like this. It's actually this right here. It's this, I don't know if it's considered copper. Let's say it's like a copper color. Okay, so I just did it around the vein here. I just stopped it right about there and sort of just left it right there so I didn't have a point down the end there. Same thing here. I'm just going to fold this like they want us. And I'm not going to necessarily do the tip right there, right? Just give it shape. It's like anything else, right? We can give it any kind of shape we want. It's just coming along the vein of what they have here for the leaves. It allows you to get that texture because they have you folding it directly in half. But you know what? You don't have to if you don't want to, right? All right, let me go ahead and do these here, just so you can get an idea of what it's like, right? So just point it down like here. And like I said, if you don't want to do the point all the way in, you don't have to, right? Because with leaves, leaves do all kind of things outside. I always get inspired by going outside and looking at what's going on there and go from there, right? So again, I'm going to do this here. And I don't know what this is. It really... definitely looks like recycled paper, right? Because it's got a texture. I don't know if you can see that. But it's good, right? Because it's good to have texture. But you can see if you just fold them like this, we're just going to keep on going. And get them going. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use... And we're going to do a couple more. Let me get the colors I really wanted to get out there as well, too. I'm going to finish just putting these aside. Because you can see already, just by putting these side by side, see how nice they look? I'm going to give mine just a little more color than that. Let's get these all folded here. And then I'm going to add some other color here. That's what they have you doing, just going through and doing it all up. So I would do like one of each just to get one set going, right? Alright, and I'm leaving that there because I still want to be able to have the ability to flex that if I want to, or anything else, because I should be able to do that. So let me show you some other colors. Here's some other color here, and you have 2 sheets of this. And again, we're just going to punch this out. So there's a lot of punching out, right? So your real effort is going to be, right, doing the hot glue gun and putting this together and on that Garland piece. But there's always options, right? So that's the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on getting this out here. And I'm just going to show you on the back of this one here some options that I'm looking at. And let's see, I think we got one of everything there. I'm just double checking. Okay, got that covered. Let me get this one other color. I really wanted to do this one with... Yeah, there's more of the copper color in here, but there's one that I wanted to use Cajun Craze on. See if I can find it here. Because you even have some leaves. Let me just show you. All right, we even have leaves like this. I'm not necessarily going to get to that right now. I want to get to the Cajun Craze ones. There we go. It's 2 sheets. Everything's got at least 2 sheets, right? But you can see the shapes of the leaves are pretty much the same, right? We just got different colors, just like we see in the fall time. So as you look at these, you go, hey, you know, we have that shape. Yes, we do have that shape. Now, I don't know about you, but we don't seem to get a lot of fall like this. We have to go in hill country. And right now, we can have 102 degrees today. So, it's a matter of what's still going to be there in the fall. Do anything. But hill country around that's not too far away, their weather's a little different than ours. So, okay, let's see if we got one of everything now. Yeah, we do. Okay, see, we still have more, right? So there's plenty more. So this is the one I really wanted to show you. We're going to play around with here on the colors. Because I can't apply, I'm not going to be able to apply color to the foil, right? The foil is foil. But you can see how we got all of our different shapes. That's what I wanted to show you. See how we got our different shapes the same? I was trying to see if they had this one here. See here. So we've just got, it's the same leaves. So when you really look at it, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of leaves, right? So they're just in different colors. So you can do whatever you want. We're going to mess around with these here. And I'm just going to show you some things we're going to do. I'm going to get them folded. Well, I like the fact you fold it, right? Because you're going to have all the 3D when you start putting this and hot gluing this on. Alright, this is the last one. There's plenty more colors. This is not the end of the colors. I can show you the rest of the colors. I just want to do a few, right? I just want to do a couple examples just to get you thinking, right? Because fall officially starts in the middle of September. I have the date written down, but it officially starts. Okay, so let me show you the other colors because there's plenty of other colors. I sort of teased you with one. Let me show you the rest here. Alright, so we have this blue tone here. It almost looks like, I would say, a cross between Balmy Blue and Coastal Cabana, maybe, right? Then we have this here that looks very much like crumb cake. And then we have some other different foiled ones here that's got 2 leaves on it. So like I said, I'm not going to do all this today. I'm just trying to get you thinking. Here we go. Here's another color green. There's some things that we can do, some possibilities, right? And here we got this color here. And then we have some color here, which looks like what we already did. It looks, but it's a little bit different. See, it's a little bit different. So this is almost like a seafoam green. This one here is what that looks like. And we just got a little bit darker shade. All right, and then we have the multicolored ones that I just showed you a minute ago, which are these right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple things. I want to first take the Cajun Craze, which I thought I had that here, and if I don't, then we won't do it. Yeah, there's my Cajun Craze. Oh, I even brought pumpkin pie. I thought Cajun Craze would be nice on this one. Now, what I would tell you to do if you're not sure is we're going to sit there and start on the back side here, okay? Because even I would say, before I even started, I would go on the back side just to see if I like it or not, right? So I'm just going to come along the vein right here that we put back here. I'm going to go around the tips. Because I just want to, right? It's not, do you have to? No, the kid doesn't tell you to do that, but I want to do that. So lots of times things we do because we want, right? So I'm just going to do the tips. So I'm not sure how well I'm going to like the veins here because see how it's not as easy? You're just going to have to, if you do it, you're just going to do it lightly across the vein, right? So it just depends. And the thing is, keep in mind, this is going to be on a garland. So it's not like somebody's going to see this leaf just like this, right? It's going to be in between where you put your layers. Okay? So whatever you do, it's only going to be seen right above. So if you're not sure what you want to do, just test it out, right? Just sort of like I'm doing right now. I'm testing it out, see what I'm going to like best. Because the other one, I like doing the tips, so I know I'm going to do the tips. So if I come over here and do the tips. And if you ever look at leaves in the fall, right? It's like they're variegated. They're not necessarily one solid color because leaves are changing. So keep that in mind. Whatever you do, there is no right or wrong. It's whatever you want. And whatever you do, people will be amazed and think how amazing it is that you did. All right, just to give you an idea. So see, and I can just lightly brush it down here. And if you're not sure, just go on your paper. There's plenty of ink there, right? So have you something handy so you can go do that and you can see. And I'm just going to come down a little, just a bit down here. And I'm not really worried about the down and inside, right? Because people aren't going to really see that. All right, so that's just what I did right there. Now see, you can see the difference between just adding a little color to the edges and all what it can do. All right, now let me set that aside. And I want to use some Versamark. And the reason why I'm going to use Versamark, if you think about when we're stamping or anything else, Versamark takes a little bit longer to dry, right? But it can do some different things. I'm just putting that on top of that so I don't use that again. Yeah, there we go. And let me just show you. I'm going to do it on the same color. Well, we can do it on this one here. I'm not sure how it's going to do on this one because this is a little different. Okay, so if you're not sure, might not be able to see it. It's just a wet look. If you looked on my paper right here, it's just got a wet look to it. You can't really see it in the camera, but it just has a little bit of wet look. But I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm just going to do it with Versamark. Now the thing is, it's going to dry clear, right? But I can darken up things with the Versamark. When it dries, it's going to give it a little bit darker look. So see, I didn't even apply color. All I did was take it, let it dry. Now, I can see that mine really most probably needs to be a little bit juicier, so I might want to add some more to it, especially as I'm doing these leaves. But that's the nice thing about Versamark is you can add it, and it looks like you added color when in reality you didn't add any color. Because I'm not sure. I'd have to get my stuff out to see what color I would say this is, because I'm really not sure offhand. It looks some type of gray, right? Okay, so if you look this over, this is how it's going to dry, right? You see how it's wet? So you're going to have to let it dry, but here is an example of where we can sit up here, and looks like we added color, but in reality we didn't. We just let the paper itself bring out the colors and the veins in here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to come just like I did with the other, and I'm just going to use my Versamark and add it to the tips and all. And personally, it just looks like some rain came down and touched the leaves, is what it looks like. I'm going to do the same thing I did with that, and I'm not adding color, right? It's just I'm adding Versamark so when it dries, it's going to dry just like that. So what we talked about was this. We thought this would be pretty cool. Some friends and I were talking, so we were together, is that we thought this would be pretty cool to actually make some cards with us. I haven't ruled it out. I haven't made a decision either or, but you know, it has possibilities, right? So again, I'm just applying it just like I would regular ink. Now, so when you go and put these together, they have you having like just one of everything, right? And so I'm going to definitely put it in the vein in the middle, right? Because if you look at veins in leaves, if you're not sure, just go outside and get you a leaf, right? Let nature inspire you. If you think that you just can't be inspired, just go to nature. Nature will do it for you. So I'm just going to come along these vein lines, right? This will take a little bit longer. This is not like our regular ink, right? Because it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. But it's going to give it a look and a little texture. Beyond what we have, it's going to really pick up on the vein leaf texture we have already. Okay, so see how that's just shaping up right there? So that's really what I wanted to do. Let's talk about doing it on another color, right? So we're not limited to just this one here. So let's do this one here and see how this looks and see what you think compared to where we did the color. Because we have comparisons, and it's going to vary on paper because this is like I said, this is like recyclable paper. It has a totally different texture look and all than the regular cardstock. So you can see, as I do the edges here, it hasn't quite done like the other. But once this dries, if I want to add some color over it, I can, right? But you can see, see if you can see that. Let's see. So it's got, see how it's got that right there? So that's because it's still wet, right? It's not completely dry, and that's what you get with Versamark. But you still can do incredible things with it, right? So if I had really wanted to, I could have put some embossing powder, sprinkle over what I've done right now, and I could sit there and heat emboss, right? And it'll give you a different look. In fact, I think I'll do that and take a picture and post it for you to see what it'd be like to have the Versamark and a sprinkle. I think I would do the bronze. They have a bronze metallic, which would look really nice. I think it would look really nice on these leaves down here. But look at here. So as long as it's still wet, see how it's still wet? I still have possibilities of what else I can do with it or add to it or take away from it, right? So I'm just going to put this here to let it dry. So you can see the difference between here and here. This was done with ink. This one was not. So it definitely does not pick up like it did with the other paper. So that's just the differences in paper, right? So here's this one here. That's a different type of paper. It's a totally different texture. And look what happened when I add Versamark to this versus adding Versamark to this. This is just regular cardstock, and it didn't do any of the coloring, right? Making it look like it's a natural darker color. So there you go. I can still come back with this with the Cajun Craze because it's right here. And let's see. Yeah, so that feels dry now. So I'm just going to come and I can just go back over it, right? So don't feel free to explore. So if you're not sure, just do the back side, like I started off with, of the leaf, and see what it does on the back, right? Because nobody's going to see the lower part here. But you could even do the back of these if you want to, because people really aren't going to see it, right? If you're thinking about your wreath and you think about the photo in the beginning, let me show you again so you can see where it's going to evolve to. So it's going to be evolved to this, right? So if you look over here also on the page here, it gives you another version of it, right? So you see what it's going to evolve to. So you see that the whole leaf isn't going to be captured, right? For sure the top part is. So flexibility, give yourself some flexibility there. And knowing that you can play around, try some different things out, and get it together, okay? Because we definitely don't have enough leaves out because we don't have all the colors out. But I just wanted to show you some different things that we could do. Now, so this was me putting the Cajun Craze on top of the Versamark, all right? So it's a little bit different. Not totally, right? But they all look the same. So that's the main thing, is how does it look? All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this right here. Yeah, this one. These other leaves, because I really like how that turned out, right? So we're going to go ahead and finish these leaves up, and then we're going to get this other leaf over here and see how it does. So we have, this is, so when I look at that, this is the same type of material. So I'm going to have that handy. Just do another leaf for you so you can see. Right, because we have the different varying leaves. Again, this is going to have to dry. This is just Versamark, right? So it's just clear. It just takes it a little bit longer to dry. But you can see how it gives you a nice different look. There you go. For here, I'm not sure if ours is going to change from fall or if it's just going to change from the extreme heat they would keep on having. And again, you can do the back side, right? You got those veins on the back side, so that's just really easy to see how that's going to look. But you know, each leaf is going to be different, right? Depending on the color and the texture of the material that it's made out of. All right, so the main thing is, right, to get at least one set done first so that you can do it. All right, let's try out this one now. This looks like very vanilla, this color here. So we're just going to do the same thing and see how it looks, right? So I'm just going to come along the edges. Again, I don't have any plain color, right? And I don't have very vanilla ink anyway, so that's a good thing. And I don't even have anything in heat embossing powder close to this color either. So, all right, so you see how that's looking there. See, it just gives it just a little bit of a tint there. So we can do the same thing. All right, so I like that. I'm fine with that. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Let's go back to this side. And we're just going to give those edges just a little something, right? So with those veins and everything, we can give a little edge there. Just a little down the middle. So it's not going to be as dark as that, right? Because we're dealing with a lighter color, but it's going to give us just a little extra touch. See, it's just kind of around the edges, just a little bit there, because I just gave it a little extra there, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. Let's see how many we have together here. We've got a maple leaf. So let me get a maple leaf. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. So we'll do this all around. Like I said, they have you every leaf color they have in here. They have you putting together, right? Before you move on to the other. So put this here. So we're not going to show this each week because Sunday begins the new kit, and on Fridays we're doing alternatives. But what we'll do is we'll show you the progress we've made, and so you can see how it's shaping up, right? Because this is for the fall. So I don't usually decorate for the fall, usually, especially with the Thanksgiving looking leaves, until in October, and usually it's still after Thanksgiving, but this one might get up ahead of time before that just because we can. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come down the center. So it'll be a weekly progress, and the nice thing about the weekly progress is I'll have it done by the time I need to put it up, right? I'm doing it in sections and so forth and all. Segments, right? So you don't have to sit down and do it all in one exercise unless that's what you want to do. Now, when I went to hot glue, I most probably would. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Just depends. Depends what's going on. All right, so there we go. Here's another leaf here. So again, you can just see how it just shapes up. Again, it's different, but it's not like, it's just to give it a nice subtle difference, right? Just to give it a little extra oomph and color there to it. So that's all I'm doing. And I'll just put this over here so it can dry as well too. Now let's pick another leaf, because we know the gold ones we aren't going to do. We've already done those. Let me get us, let's see here. We have choices here. I'm trying to think what I have that will go with what I've got here. I think that was the thing for me. Here, we're going to do this one, because this one here I thought crumb cake or pecan pie. Let's see here. If you're not sure, see how much darker pecan pie is? But here's crumb cake. Oh yeah. So we're going to go with crumb cake on this one. So let me put the lid back on this one here. And we're going to punch out some crumb cake ones. To at least get us started, because I have 3 daubers that I brought. And there's the third one there. Okay, so let's punch these out. We're just going to do the same thing, right? Just do the same thing. Going to do that again. We're going to start on the back, so you can see all the leaves are the same, right? They're just different colors. And then there's more than one on a page here, so I don't need, I just want to get one of each, right? So I do like the fact that they have a bunch of different colors, only because, right? Because in nature, again, we're going to fold these in half. Did I fold those others in half? I did the ones we worked on. So I'm leaving the flexibility. Have you folding all the way to the tip? I didn't, right? It's just a personal preference for me, because I can curl those leaves at the end at a point. So at least I'm going to follow it partially, right? Because part of this, for example, this one doesn't go straight all the way up, right? It sort of curves. So that's fine. They, like I said, they have you folding them all in half, but you can do what you want to do. It's your creation, right? Whether it's for yourself or somebody else, it's your creation, so you can do what you want to do. All right, let's see what crumb cake's going to do for us. Okay, let me set this right here so you can see what the crumb cake looks like. Okay, see how light you can barely see that. Right? All right, so we're just going to take, I'm just going to daub it up here so you can see how dark. See, I can only get it so dark, right? Because it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's go on the back side. I'm just going to start with the lower leaf, just like we did the others, and see what you think. Now, if you think you like pecan pie, I can show you what pecan pie would look like. But this one looks, right? Pecan pie was very, very dark. But see how that looks? It's just going to accent it, right? That's all we're doing, is just giving a little accent. Because we can, right? So I'm actually going to do the tips up here. I think even I'm going to go back on the ones I did and make sure on the back side that I just got the top part at least. around the edges on the back side. Because I'm really not sure if I'm going to put mine as tight as they did or if I'm going to make mine a little bit looser. I've made wreaths before, and I'll have to go back and see what I did, because even I don't remember what I did. But I'm just using a dauber, right? You could use a blending brush, right, if you wanted. But I'm just doing the edges, right? So that's why I've used a dauber, because it's easier for me to just do the edges like this than with a blending brush. As you can see, I don't have my small blending brush here handy, so I'm going to use it just to show you the difference. Okay, keep in mind, right? So this is going to be down, right? It's going to be most probably about like this here, right? Which is what you're truly going to see. And I'm just going to lightly go up the center. Just give it a little. Right, I'm not trying to do anything drastic. I'm just trying to give a little accent, right? Because if you go outside and look at the veins on the trees and on the leaves, they are always a little bit darker. Okay, so see how it is that, and that's just adding that right there. Now again, if we wanted to see, so these are all done over here. You guys are not. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the front here. I'll show you what Versamark will do. And I think you're going to see it's going to do the same thing the other did. Just really didn't do anything. Just put your dauber for the moment like on top of whatever color you got it with. Yes, I do. So I do wash these out, and they get stained if you've used red, right? Any kind of red or anything's got, like Night and Navy's got red in it, because when you wash it out, you'll get a red stain on it. So again, so I'm just going to do the same thing. Now this one actually does better, and we can see this one better than we could the other one a while ago. When we did, when we did the one that I used the Cajun craze on. I can at least see this one a little bit better, and see how you can see those edges a little bit more. But again, you know, if that's not what you want, then this is very forgiving, let you go and add a color on top, and it's not going to matter. It's a matter of what do you like as a choice, right? Which do you like better? Alright, so I'm going to stop there. Let me flip it over and do the other side. And so I can show you comparison what we just did and what I got going here. Now the thing is, you can see this, right? Like I showed you a while ago, we can still see it's wet. Let's see if I can get that in the camera for you. See there, you can see how it's still wet. And you see where you put the Versamark, it's going to dry. And I'm just going to do the same thing just so you can see the difference, right? It's all about seeing the difference and making choices. I don't know why I do that. I think it's just out of habit, right? Okay, so we can see, and I'm just going to come down here, because I'm not really too worried, right? Because I know it's clear, but it's just going to give it that little extra. I just want to show you the difference, okay? That's all it's about, is showing you the difference and making your own decision. Alright, so here's what I did here, where I've added the Versamark. And here's the one that I've actually just added a little on the tips there, right on the edges. Like I said, you're not going to see the bottom because it's all going to be in there, but it just gives you just an idea of what it's a little bit light. So I don't mind this right here at all, but I think what I'll do is I'll leave the center like it is, and I'm just going to add crumb cake to the edges only, not the center of it, and see what we think of that, right? Because nobody knows, right? It's one of those things you can do whatever you want to do, and I think that's the main thing. Is feel free to explore and do what you want to do, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and having fun, right? And if you're not having fun, then look at why you're not having fun and make changes so it's fun. Because somebody the other day, they said, well, I'm busy making this, this, and this, but I don't really like it. It's just not me. And it's like, well, then don't make it. If it doesn't make you happy, then I wouldn't do it. Because, right, it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. And you're not going to create if you don't like what you're creating, or you want to change it, then change it. Right? Alright, so you can see I'm just doing the edges here. Now I'm not doing the inside because I put the Versamark on the inside, and you're still going to get a sheen from that Versamark. I'm going to finish these edges right here just so you can see. So, you know, we do this with cards, right? We'll do the edges around tags sometimes, just give a little color, a little extra something. or stars or any other kind of shapes or whatever. So it's just whatever your preference is. I know for me, it's just my given day and mood. Today I might be in the mood to do something specific, and that's what I'm going to do. All right, so here's what this one looks like here. So this one is the combination of adding crumb cake just on the edges and leaving the Versamark in here that's going to give it like a little sheen and all. And here's the one where I actually applied the crumb cake all over, right? So you see it's not vastly different. They're similar, but they are different nonetheless because the fact is we don't have any down the middle. I just put the shimmer there with the Versamark, and that's what you get there when you do that, okay? So when you start combining these together, let's see here if I can flip a page over to see if we got any kind of order that we got going here. Well, they have blue. I don't have my blue done yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of these that we've added the color just a little bit, right? Because this one we added Versamark. So we're going to sit there and take a big leaf like this, and then they have us take in like a leaf like this here. And then they have us take in like another leaf. Can't do that one. I'll have to do one of these. Let's do this one. All right, so see how when you start adding your leaves together, you're going to get your different combinations of colors. And we can put one right here. I'm not exactly following theirs, right? I'm sort of doing my own thing. Let's do this one here. So you do this here, and we put this here, right? We're going to put it here. And then you're just going to have something like this here. All right, and you're just going to, but see how we've changed the colors just a little bit? So let's look at some that we did not do yet, just to give you an idea of the difference of how it looks. Right? Because that's what it's all about, is learning and deciding what we want, what's different, what's the same. Trying to make sure I get some that I didn't color yet. All right, so these have not been colored yet. So you can see they're just a little different, right? They're just a little bit. So if you want to look at them, you see that we just didn't add anything to those. Could, right? We have some actual, let's get some maple leaf, right? So that just gives you the idea of how where on the right side we didn't add anything, whereas on the left side we did. So it's all personal preference, right? There is no right or wrong. Let me reemphasize that. There's no right or wrong. And so you're going to add some gold there. So that's what you got, right? So it's just a matter of adding it together, and we have many, many more leaves that we can sit there and add together as well, too. That's all we can get to start today. I'm going to get these, at least one set going, so you can see what it looks like, right? Because we always want to see what it looks like, right? So once we put it on the garland, what it's going to look like. So we'll get it. We'll finish up the other colors, and we'll do some of them next week to finish it up. And then we'll start hot gluing. I'll hot glue what we've done today, and then I'll add the stuff that we'll do next week. So it's a work in progress. And we're going to do it after we do our alternative next week, all right? So with that, I want to thank you for joining in today, and thank you for supporting us not only here, but also on Instagram and YouTube. And next week, well, let's go to Sunday. Sunday at 4 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to go live with Zoe and Nana, and we're going to be doing the new kit. That's the August kit. It's Farmhouse. Better go get to it. I'll have to post that for you because I don't know what it is offhand because I'm busy doing the kit today. So that's all right. So we'll see you on Sunday if you can, where we'll do our drawing and our giveaway for door prizes, which are kits. You'll have 2 kits from last month, and you'll have a kit from this month, the August kit. And all you gotta do is make a comment, put an emoji or something somewhere that we know that you've been here, and that we can add you to the list for the drawing on Sunday. We always do it after our live on Sunday. So be blessed. Have an amazing week. It's a holiday weekend for us. So have an amazing holiday weekend, and look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And also, we'll be live next Wednesday and Friday. Be blessed and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.